on Amazon, so it arrived last night, and then that way I could wear it today.
You bought it specifically for that?
You feel good about that win?
A win is a win, pal.
Yeah, but
They're in first place in the division, and they beat the Raiders.
Semi, let me set this up. It's a live imaging Tuesday on Sedano and Kap. Cappy is out today, just like Sliwa, missing their shows 2 days before Thanksgiving. Although Cappy's got kind of a reason.
No, he's got a reason.
Corporate Greg is here. I'm here. Producer Lindsay, producer Laura, although nobody in there is I mean, we could literally be just cursing all the way. Nobody's paying attention to us. Pepe's in there distracting people. Hey, Pepe, you never declared your independence. This ain't Mason and Ireland, Jack. Declare your independence. Then you can hang out in the studio.
Leave him alone.
No, I
do what you want, Pepe.
No.
Be on any show you want to be on.
Leave him alone.
No, Pepe, you need to declare your independence next year.
Brown on brown crime.
Or you think that Corporate Greg banned you? I'll take away your
didn't.
key card.
He doesn't have a key.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he doesn't. You just let him in.
You're so mean.
He's just allowed in when he wants to come in.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we'll stop that. Poor Pepe.
Be nice.
No, I don't want to today.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to know people's birds. I want to know how big your turkey is for Thanksgiving.
I don't know.
Sedano, you got a big bird?
Yeah, sure.
10 pounds?
I guess.
15. Well, Travis has got a 19.5-pound bird,
That's a big
but it's
bird.
still frozen.
Oh, ooh.
He didn't thaw it out.
Yeah,
and, of
he
course,
messed
he's
that
too
up.
cheap to just to go and buy, a fresh bird.
Who's that guy?
That's Nate. He's on the fun and games department. But he dresses, he's in
I
such
would
good
say
shape.
dress is way too nice for the fun and games department.
Yeah, but he's like a secret.
going to
He
the
could
Laker
run
game.
with cars. He's like well-trained.
Okay.
If I need somebody to protect me, I've invited him to my home many times. He doesn't seem to want to come over.
Right.
Run, Nate.
The pirate ship? He doesn't want to go to the pirate ship?
I told him I could, he could get in the jacuzzi if he wants,
Yeah.
take a shower if he needs to be. Just chill, relax, like a
Right.
spa.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to come over, though.
Yeah, I get it.
Meanwhile, you know what's on tap today?
What's that?
Thanks to our friends at Michelob Ultra. It is a combo plate day. That's why all you Mason Ireland listeners are like, oh, no, they're back again.
Damn it.
We will go until 5:30 p.m., then the Toyota Lakers countdown to tip-off. Lakers Jazz in-season tournament time, the Golden Four. Who doesn't love a Golden Four on Tuesday night?
Yeah, Lakers got to win this one and just clinch this quarterfinal spot already.
Play-by-play at
Yes.
7 o'clock. You'll hear it on 7:10 AM, or on the all-new ESPN LA app. Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs, 95 calories. Be sure to have some on your Thanksgiving table.
Yeah.
But even if they lose by less than 23, they still clinch.
Correct.
So it doesn't matter. I mean, they're not going to lose to the Jazz by 24, 25 points.
Probably not.
I hope not.
I mean, but
That'd be bad.
it'd still be nice if they just won. Like, winning matters still, too.
Yeah, because he need a home game in the tournament, that all deal.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily matter for the Raiders winning, as long as you cover.
No, just cover, baby.
You just got to cover, baby.
Absolutely
Commitment to
not.
covering.
Even though I'm a new
Hey.
Raiders fan, I do think that's a brilliant line.
It
Just
was-
cover,
it was
baby.
A good line. I heard Lindsay yesterday go, "Oh my God, that was hilarious, Sedano. That was such a good line."
Well, anything Sedano says, she'll love.
I thought it was funny. You guys don't think it's clever? Cappy even said he's going to put it on a T-shirt.
Well, of course, he likes to put everything on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
But that was a tough loss. That was a tough loss to the Raider fan because we were actually in that game. We could have won that game.
That was one of the, they have a good defense.
They have a good defense.
And the Dolphins coughed up the ball a bunch, and you didn't capitalize.
No, didn't capitalize. Yeah, still a little bit young. Aiden O'Connell still trying to
Well, you're
figure
gonna get a new
himself
quarterback
out.
anyway.
Exactly. So I'm fine with
By the
how
way,
it
you're
went
telling me
down.
Jimmy G couldn't have been better in that game?
Absolutely not.
No, Jimmy G stinks.
He's terrible.
Some of those plays at the end? I
Jimmy
don't know.
G is not good. Jimmy G was good because he got to play with the Niners.
And
the best roster in the sport.
And he knows, Aiden O'Connell knows to feed Devontae Adams. For some reason, Jimmy G refused to, and I don't know why. But that was also the whole Josh McDaniels nonsense.
Yeah. You love Josh McDaniels, I'm sure.
I hated all of them.
So, yeah, look, if you're a Raider fan, it's okay. Like, this is where you are.
But a lot of our audience are Raider fans.
It's
Why are you
okay.
trolling them?
This is where they are now. It's just like, oh, we almost won. Yay.
It's not yay, we almost won.
We covered. You stink, Sedano. Your prediction sucked.
Well, you said they would get routed by halftime.
Yeah, I thought so.
They said
They
two
almost did.
touchdowns. You said 2 touchdowns.
Let me tell you something. The first pass of the game,
But it didn't happen.
That was a fumble. I don't care what anybody says. That was a fumble, scoop, and score the other way. It would have been 7-0 in the first 30 seconds.
If any fan base has been screwed from bad calls, it's the Raiders that have been screwed by bad calls.
You know what the Raiders have been screwed by? Their own mismanagement.
It's okay,
Don't make this about
Mark-
Mr. Davis.
No,
Not Mr. Davis.
that he's not Mr. Davis yet. Mr. Davis is long
Oh, I thought he was
gone.
going to
Mr.
go back.
Davis is no longer with us.
I thought you were going to go
Mark
back in time.
Davis is still there.
Mr. Davis is rolling in his grave because these people tweeting at me in the Sedano and Kap Circle of Trust are sitting there going, oh, we covered. You stink.
That's just to
Covered.
get at you.
Commitment to covering.
They're not happy they lost. They're happy you lost the bet.
The team
There's
lost.
two things can be true at once.
Team lost. No, in this case, it can't.
Yes, it very well could. UCLA's up pretty big right now. I'm very happy.
Are we
about
really doing this
I'm
for the
doing it.
All-State Maui Invitational?
Maui Invitational is a great
We're doing
spot.
stringer updates. Do we have a stringer over there?
I wish we could do the
Linz,
Maui
can we get a
Invitational.
stringer from Maui?
Sure.
I'm looking for a stringer talking about Turkey. By the way,
Hey, someone's got to talk.
Hey
UCLA
guys, just
basketball.
checking in from Maui. UCLA up 55-37. Johnson has 13 points for the Bruins. We'll check back with you in a couple minutes. Thanks.
That's exactly what it sounded like. Saturday.
there.
weekends. So wait, JT's not on today, right?
No,
No,
because
he's
he's
on
filling
tomorrow.
in for Chris Russo. Oh my God, he's doing a Mad Dog show.
We should call in as a caller.
Oh, we should call on the air.
I kind
should-
of was thinking the same
yeah,
thing.
we should call as a caller. And they probably got
Is
four
that-
people are listening, so they'll go to us immediately.
Yeah, they have no idea that we'd be.
That's
calling.
allowed, right? It's radio station to radio station. That's okay. It's not.
Well, and it's
you know,
also
we're-
satellite.
yeah.
it's a little exotic, but we're not gonna
it's
get in
not like
trouble.
calling a business and not telling them.
Well, no. Here's what we'll do. He'll be, he's filling in for Russo. All right, JT the Brick filling in for Christopher Mad Dog Russo, Sirius XM Channel 89. Let's go to. We can't use any of our names. Like Ken in Los Angeles. I used to live in Los Angeles. Give me a take, don't suck, and then we just say, "Hey JT, you're on the air in 710 in LA."
Yeah.
I think we could do it.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
I think we should do.
What's the phone number over there?
yeah. Do you think he'll be upset?
Probably.
I'll
Oh, yeah,
find it.
It'd be
I'll find it.
good cross promotion
For who?
for I don't know for us.
Actually, for whom?
For him for
I guess.
JT.
I'm just sad that he's going to be on, and then tomorrow we won't be here.
Yeah, I won't
It'll be corporate Greg and Cappy.
Yeah,
And Cappy doesn't know how to run that interview. JT's going to monopolize the segment. What's Cappy going to do?
yeah. Cappy's just gonna get run over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun to listen to though. I'll try and get a
Is
Raider
it?
thing. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Does
It's funny.
JT like you though, Greg?
I don't know that answer actually.
Oh,
That's-
wow.
I actually wondered that when Lindsay mentioned on the air yesterday. I'm like, how are Greg and JT?
So I was always cool with JT. I was always around and I talked to him all the time, but we never had a we didn't have
He's
that
gonna get upset.
relationship.
He's going to talk to his wife, Julie. You telling me I'm doing a segment today with corporate Greg and Cappy?
Yeah.
No,
That's
Sedano and
exactly what
Morales
you mean.
can't work the day before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
He was a
JT's
kid.
working. JT's working nonstop.
Sedano's too busy doing a game in Phoenix against the Warriors, and he can't come on with me.
We're so inside baseball right now, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Hi. What else you got, Sonny?
Just win maybe. At just win maybe
He has
one
something.
says that's his Twitter handle. At just win maybe one. Actually, that's actually an even funnier line. Just win maybe. He says this again. Just admit you were wrong at Sedano Small Market Radio. No, actually, I don't care.
See, here's the thing. You gutless COT members. I'm almost ready to shut it down again.
You're supposed to be on the Raider side. You're a Raider fan.
No,
what
but,
are you doing?
but they love to use our bits against us. You can't use our bits against us.
You say it as much as you do. People are going to start
But we
picking it up.
say
But
small
Jack,
market. You can't just use it against us. We're in the major market.
Yeah.
It annoys me.
Well, it's just not proper usage of the bit.
And you got to be careful starting fires with Omar, though, the great Omar Lopez. You know, he's a tough guy.
He is a tough guy.
You got to watch out. He'll be waiting for you outside of a Dolphins bar.
He won $1 Million Monday yesterday.
He did win $1 Million
Mason
Monday.
Island,
He didn't win
yeah.
the $1 million.
No,
he won
he
the tickets.
What
To-
team
to
did
SoFi.
you pick? Did you pick the Raiders?
Yeah.
no, he didn't pick the Raiders.
No, he's not. He's not going to do that.
No,
He's
that'd
not going to
be
waste his
silly.
opportunity with the Raiders.
So, you know,
He
Mace
picked
was
49ers and Ravens.
that's not horrible.
That's my pick
A
for the beginning of the
2015
season.
rematch.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Mace said, "Are we going to talk sports?" I said, "What do you want?"
We
to
just
talk?
did.
Right, but then he said,
Actually was
"Oh,
sports.
the Rams. What is there to talk about the Rams?
Oh, I think there's something to talk about the Rams.
That they should lose on purpose on Sunday?
I mean, that's part of it.
What's the
every
point of
win
winning
is
that
bad
game
for them.
Yeah, what's the point of winning that game?
I'll tell you this. There is a point to winning the game because I do think that there are some positives to winning games or as many games as they can. And I'll explain that coming up next. But first, let me tell you about our friends at Tequila Mandala. So listen, you've heard us talk about it. Award-winning artisanal small batch premium sippy tequila founded by a couple of guys just like you. One from Jalisco, Mexico, and the other one born and raised in SoCal, down in Downey, with a vision to create a sippy tequila meant for sharing with friends and loved ones. You've heard us talk about it. You've seen us post about it on social media, and you've done the same as well. You've seen those beautiful hand-painted round ceramic bottles, man, and whether it's the Blanco, the Reposado, the Añejo, or the Extra Añejo, get yourself some. You haven't tried Tequila Mandala yet? What are you waiting for, man? Elevate your tequila game today. Make sure Tequila Mandala was with you at your next occasion, the anniversary, a birthday, the carne asada, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. Just get yourself some. Celebrate with Tequila Mandala today. Follow their journey on their social channels at Tequila Mandala, available everywhere. Fine tequilas are sold. Holiday time is the right time, man. Visit tequilamandala.com to find a store or restaurant nearest you. Tequila Mandala. Demand the extraordinary.
All right, guys, it's officially back. Fifth Row Fridays presented by BBGO.
That's the official game day snack of the Lakers, by the way. And this is the best thing we give away. Fifth row seats to a Laker game. How many times do people come up to us and say, hey, give me Laker tickets?
Yes.
We don't have them. I don't even have them, but you can win them if you listen every day.
And these seats are better than the seats that you and Michael have, right?
15 rows better.
Yeah.
Michael and I are like row 20. So here's how you win. You listen every day to all the shows and take notes. If you can answer 5 questions about what happened on the show that day, you're eligible to win.
And don't forget, on Fridays, your chance to call in all 5 right answers, and you are in the fifth row at Crypto.com Arena for a Lakers game.
For free!
.30 in the Southland on a live imaging Tuesday. Sedano and Kap. We were just talking about this song. Back on this day in 1970, the #1 hit. Of course, based on the TV show, The Partridge Family. They had a #1 album. And this song's called I Think I Love You. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
Remember Danny Partridge dancing around? He was the only one actually singing. The rest of it was all fake on the TV show.
I was going to say, wasn't Susan Day part of the Partridge Family?
Oh, I love this song.
Weren't they all fake singing?
No, not Danny.
Danny was not.
No.
I don't know about that.
But Susan Day from LA
Susan
Law
Day was on that.
part of the Partridge Family.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, was it
Didn't they
Danny or
just-
David?
weren't
Well,
they
because that
like
was
kinda
David
going
Cassidy.
back and forth and
David Cassidy
strumming a
had
guitar?
real songs, so he was a real artist.
Okay.
This was a real #1 song. I do think I love you. I texted Laura. Like,
I think I love
Laura and I communicate a lot on what's coming up next for the songs when I'm in person.
Right.
And I said, I think I love you. She wrote back, thank you.
I said, that's nice. Thank you. I knew what he meant, but I thought it was funny.
It's okay.
Sometimes you love me, sometimes you don't.
No, I always love you. Meanwhile, what did we tease?
Oh, the Rams.
the Rams and why the Rams are. It's good when they win.
I actually don't think, look, I get the understanding of losing gives you a better draft pick and all that stuff. I understand that. But here's why I would push back a little bit when it comes to the Rams specifically. The Rams, outside of this year, because eventually you have to pay that bill, right, when you make all those moves, their kind of brand is we want to bring in free agents, we want to make big splashy trades. So if you want to bring in free agents, and they have all this money next year, right? They have $1 bazillion in cap space next year. How are you going to sell people on, hey, we tanked? Because football players, athletes, they don't want to tank. Organizations tank. Players do not tank. So I actually think them winning as many games as possible shows players out there, hey, they tried, they want to win. That's their motto. That's their MO. They don't want to sit there and just try to flounder their way through a season to get a draft pick. Because players in the NFL don't want to sit there and wait because you're on most players at least are on a year-to-year contract. They're not sitting there trying to sit here and say, oh, yeah, we got a tank for next year. because half the roster won't be there anyway, more than likely.
Well, but don't you think that this team was tanking to start the year?
But I just said it's an organizational
No, I know.
decision.
The players are not going to ever try to not. It is an organizational decision. That's why
But
Bobby
if
Wagner left.
If you try to win,
They have $60 million. They didn't bring anybody into this. There was all just draft picks and undrafted free agents.
No, but
that
they
brought
don't
in.
have. They didn't have money this year. The money is next year.
Yeah, they have $60 million for next year.
For next season.
There's completely changed that they could have used for this
No,
year.
they could not. No, they absolutely could not have.
Oh, I like this when you guys argue.
I need to look at it up exactly, but the fact that they have the guys that are on their rosters that for this, it's all undrafted free agents. It's all they let
Right,
guys like
because
Bobby
they
Wagner
had
go
no choice.
because they wanted to have nothing on their books for next season.
Right, for next season.
Yeah, for next season. That's what I'm saying.
Right. But that had nothing to do with this season.
Yeah,
they only have
they-
$7 million in cap space right now.
They could have brought Bobby Wagner back. They could have brought
Not with $7
Not with
million
$7 million
in cap space.
Yeah, I
So
don't-
you had the $60 million is next season.
Yes.
So they had to get under the cap this season so that they can have all that money for next year. So my point is this: if you're a player, you don't want to go to some organization that just tanked because you're like, well, I almost cursed. Well, hell, if you're going to tank, then you're going to tank at some point when I'm there. They want to try to win. Win. I know it's a foreign concept to you as a Raider fan right now.
Wow,
But it's a win.
The Raiders are 5-6. That's all I know. So don't even bring
oh.
it. Don't bring up the Raiders. They did the right thing by getting rid of everybody. Whatever. This is a Rams conversation overall, and what they're doing is like Sean McVay going for it on second, throwing a pass on second down and stopping the clock at the end of the game on Sunday. Right? That's a part of a tank in my mind. That if you throw that ball, you're allowing them to have more time on the clock and not use it any time.
Or you just trust your quarterback to make a completion.
Right, but you run the ball.
No,
that is the right thing
this
to
is
do.
what-
No, because look, they had the time to go down the field, and for a guy that in Jason Myers that are already hit 2 50-yard field goals, long 50-yard field goals, he had the chance to win the game. That's that kind of weird like it's a tank, but it's not.
It's
not
an exotic
really.
tank.
It's an exotic. It's one of those things that you can do to just kind of be like, oh look, I tried to win, but I also tried to lose.
You
at the
can't
same
really
time.
get behind a win on Sunday because the Seahawks.
You
that
want
was
to
luck.
lose.
That was
You're
luck.
not understanding, but I'm right.
What? I don't even understand what you just said, to be honest with you. Like, what are you trying to say?
I'm saying that they
tried to tank because he threw the ball with the quarterback that won him a Super Bowl?
That was a decision.
Like,
that was a decision
what?
that causes a tank.
Why?
Because it very well should have allowed for a loss in that game.
Why? Why would it have been a
because
loss?
it stopped the clock when it went.
Okay, they went aggressive to try to win the game.
They were already winning the game.
I
All they had to
understand.
do is run the ball.
Okay.
Run the ball. Let the clock run out.
And they're going to run the ball with a bunch of guys he doesn't trust as opposed to a guy he
But
trusts
he
more?
doesn't. But okay. But we know how McVay is with the run game. He loves to go away from it when he needs it. That was why not run out the clock? Why not?
It's straightforward. You run the clock. That's what every single coach would do in that situation.
Listen, Keyshawn used to say it with us. He thinks he's smarter sometimes than everybody else.
I mean, I guess.
It's kind of like one of those, if it would have worked, oh my God, it would have been a great play. But that was
Okay,
overall,
so then?
that decision was the absolute wrong. Analytics, every analytic would tell you, run the ball in that situation. So the point is that this is just another situation where you're kind of trying to lose in a certain way. It's like back in, I know this is going to be weird, but in the Black Sox in 1919, where they would just kind of dive for a ball just a second, a little bit too early, so it would land in front of them, so they'd lose games. It was on purpose.
But you didn't know you'd get a Black Sox reference
Right,
today.
right.
So you wanted him on 2nd and 7 to run the ball.
To run the ball. Yeah.
Instead
and
of-
the clock goes down.
Instead of throwing a short little pass, basically, to Puka Nacua, which is in essence a run in the way that most teams scheme up the passing game these days. Really going back, honestly, if you really want to go back to the John Gruden days when he used to have Charlie Garner in the backfield and Rich Gannon would throw these little dump-off passes that were in essence runs, but they were passes. So that's what he did to Nacua. It's not like, I don't know, man. Like I feel like you're reaching there with these conspiracy theories. It seems absurd.
Well, I do like good conspiracy theories.
But
sometimes it's fun.
But nonetheless, what I would say is, which is my ultimate point, I don't care about the minutia of what transpired in this game,
right.
Which can be debated ad nauseum. The reality is, if you're a player, you don't want to tank. So if you're the Rams, okay, you know you weren't going to be good this year, but you're going to try to win as many games as you can because, A, your coach almost quit on you last year. Let's start on that because he was kind of burnt out. And secondly, after a terrible season. And secondly, if you have $60 million in cap space, the way to entice those players is be like, hey, man, even with a team that we didn't think was that good, we won a bunch of games last season. So imagine now if we add you to this team. Because you got to remember, free agency is a recruiting pitch.
Of course.
Imagine if we add you to this team. Now we're cooking in the NFC with you on our roster if we were able to do what we did last year with a roster that was a mishmash of talent.
But so that's a great point. But when you're a team that desperately needs to rebuild your offensive line, add defensive pieces, why not get the highest draft pick possible when you're not going to do anything in the playoffs anyway?
But what is the difference that they're going to get in the draft? Like, I don't here's the thing. You're not going to be worse than Chicago. They have 2 picks, okay? Carolina's as well.
Right.
So you're not going to be worse than those teams. You're not going to be worse than New England. Like, you're not going to be
You had
worse.
a chance to be worse than Arizona.
Not really. They're way worse than you. So it's like you're not going to be worse than those teams, and they have the top 5 picks.
But with the amount of money that they have, they can go out and get basically whoever they want to. And I know your point of why would somebody want to go here if they're not winning games, but they won a Super Bowl just a couple of years ago, and they still have the same coach, and they still have Stafford and Cup.
Right,
and
but that's
they have all the pieces
NFL
are there.
stands for not for long, bro.
Right? No, I know.
That people forget that crap quick.
Yeah,
but those people will still want to come to this team because it's in LA.
And
you
by
have
the
all of
way,
it.
I forget about top 5 I mentioned 4 teams there. You still have the Giants who
Now I got to pull out a mock draft.
They're starting, DeVito, whoever DeVito
Hey,
is.
they got to win over.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you're not going to be worse than DeVito, led by the Giants, led by DeVito. Tennessee is terrible. They're starting the kid who played at Levis, who played at Kentucky.
Oh, he was bad this last
Washington
week,
is not necessarily better than.
Lost to the Giants.
They have a coach who's going to get fired at the end of the season.
So wouldn't you want to be at
Atlanta's not good. They're on their second quarterback. So you're not going to be worse than any of those
wouldn't
teams.
you want to be towards the farthest down you
But my
could
point
be?
is you're not going to be in the top 7 or 8. So what's the point?
You're going to be the top 10. If you keep
but
winning.
you're kind of there right now.
Yeah,
you're 13.
But the more you win, you're going to go further up.
Okay, but what are they going to be, 500? You know what that means? They're going to be in the middle of the first round.
They'll be 15, 16, where you don't want to be.
They're right there now.
They're
not going to be much higher than that.
The teams below them are going to win games, especially with they have to play them.
This isn't the Raiders, okay?
Why are you bringing in the Raiders? I'm not talking about the Raiders.
No, but this is I've said this at the beginning of the season before I started trolling them with the Dolphins game. The Raiders have the worst quarterback in their division. In a division that has the best quarterback in the sport, and a quarterback who's probably a top 5 or 6 guy, okay?
Sure.
And then you still have Russell Wilson, who now looks competent again with Sean Payton. So if you're the Raiders, it made sense to tank.
I said that at the beginning of the year. Tank for Caleb.
If you're the Rams, as long as you can keep Stafford upright, he can show you he can still win games.
I mean, that's part of the big problem, though. Can you keep Stafford? Did you see him get blasted in that game?
And he came back and was better.
I know, but the more hits like that he takes, the less he's going to be able to come back.
Against the Browns, he's going to take a couple of those.
You think Myles Garrett coming at him is going to be better than what he got hit?
Right, but it doesn't matter. Like, the point is you're better off at that position than the Raiders are, or just go into your division. Would you rather have Geno Smith or Matthew Stafford still?
I mean, at right now, you'd probably want to have Stafford.
Okay.
Of course, but he's not going to be like this he's hurt all of last year.
If I told you the Rams
if I had to guess who was going to be hurt, Matthew Stafford's going to get hurt over Smith.
If I told you the Rams had $60 million to spend and could augment their roster, would you rather have Matthew Stafford or Brock Purdy?
Stafford.
Okay. Then that's my point. So if you can show you're selling the organization. It's like recruiting in college. You got to sell something. And you're selling not just LA, you're selling, hey, we're a championship organization. We had to pay the piper because of the moves we made, but we are back in it to win it. And we showed you last year that our coach is still elite because even with a bunch of dudes that were late round draft picks, we were right in there pretty much in every game.
The fact is that he is still going to be that. You can use that exact same argument.
But you want them to lose when they can't out-tank the teams in front of them is my point.
No matter what.
Answer that part of the question. Can they out-tank Chicago?
Can they? No, they can't out-tank Chicago.
Can they out-tank Arizona?
No, they can't out-tank.
Can they out-tank?
They probably could with Kyler Murray back. And if it beats them.
Could.
If they beat him. Look, if Kyler wins a game this weekend and then beats it's possible.
Arizona's 2-9.
Yeah, Kyler Murray just came back. He has beaten them before. They
Right.
usually play Arizona very well. It's probably not going to lose to Arizona.
Okay, let's just keep going. Are they going to out-tank New England?
No.
Okay, New England's terrible.
New England's
They're going to start Zappy again. Be happy with Zappy, okay, is what they're starting again in New England.
You're not going to
The
out-tank the
Giants
Jets.
with DeVito, like
No.
Levis, they're not none of those teams
For the
are
most
going to
part-
be worse, are going to be better than them.
All I'm saying is
Even
the
if
more
they lost every single game the rest of the way.
They'd be
they're
at
not
4 wins. That's where they'll be. They'll be right where they are right now. And that's fine.
They're not losing 6 in a row, though.
No, they're not going to lose 6 in a
And
row.
that's the point. And those teams over there are probably going to lose multiple games ahead of them.
So ahead of the bye week, when Stafford was clearly hurt, and they get Carson Wentz, nobody would have questioned if Stafford never came back, right?
Right, but the problem is Stafford has to be in on that plan, which is, again, back to my point, that
I
players don't want to tank.
I understand your point, but as a Rams fan, I mean, I'm a Raiders. I'm part of the Raider Nation. But if for all the Rams fans out there, wouldn't you prefer that they're a top 10 draft team than falling to 15 or 16? If you're trying to rebuild the roster, if you're trying to make a real run at it next year, why not do that?
For what?
What's the point of winning?
To improve your draft slot, 3 slots, maybe 2 slots?
NFL.com, I'm looking at it. They've dropped 5 slots, meaning they've moved down over the last 2 weeks because they're winning. Why win?
They won all those games earlier in the week.
Why win? Why win? What's the point? Why not get a better draft pick?
Because, again, you're trying to sell free agents on you can win.
I think free agents want to come here
Yeah,
to play
I
with
think
Sean McVay and be a free agent.
Exactly.
In Los Angeles.
Everything you said outside of winning more games, you can still sell a free agent on.
No, you
easily.
can't. No, you can't.
To be here.
Because you know what I would do if I was a free agent? If you tanked, I'd be like, yo, is McVay going to even be here? Like, he almost left last year. And now you guys tanked? Like, is he going to be around?
All you have to say is, yes, look, he came back to a team that's not good, that is a team that lost again because he knew what's coming in. This was the plan from the beginning.
Can I talk? It's my
Yes.
show. Okay.
I shut up for most of their segment.
Yeah. No, you did. So anyway.
Now, you guys have been fighting a lot. I've just been trying to figure out if Lindsay gave me these allergy pills or not. Are these pink ones yours?
Yeah.
That you gave me? Because I don't want to take exotic pills that I found in my bag.
I didn't give you any allergy pills.
Yeah, you did. A few months.
That's probably just Benadryl, yeah.
But they're pink.
Yeah,
they're not going to make me
Benadryl's
groggy.
Yeah,
Droggy and
Droggy and groggy.
Yeah.
I only
They
had the
probably
non-drowsy.
will.
Oh, yeah, I stalled like 40 seconds. Now you got to go back in the ring with him.
Go ahead.
I forgot what I was going to say now.
I'll see it worked. Well, I mean, you've been punching this kid like it's Rocky IV over here.
I'm
I
just-
thought we were going to have a fun, relaxed sports radio show.
We are.
That is fun. Was this not fun?
It was fine.
I mean,
But you've been waiting for this for years, just to get him in the ring. You're like, come on.
He started going at me.
It was like Punch-Out. I want the Punch-Out music.
I was calm. Your voice raised. I raised my voice. That's how it goes.
It's like we were 2004 at 790 in Miami.
Am I worse than Cappy? Am I annoying you more or less than Cappy?
No, Cappy, I will say this. Cappy would have thrown in the towel early. He would have come up with some way to get out. He would have hit that eject button.
He was said. He was said. Oh no. Oh, you don't think so? Oh, okay.
Greg took a lot of punches there.
I just think the idea of them tanking is absurd.
I understand.
If I'm a free agent.
I don't.
If I'm a free agent, okay, and you try to sell me on, oh no, he's going to be fine after 2 losing seasons and tanking when he literally almost walked away last year, I'm not buying that. I'm like, yeah, peace out. I'm going to go to the Niners or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not doing that. So,
well, everyone wants to go to the Niners, the Eagles, the Chiefs.
Okay, but that's my point. You have to convince them to come here. And you're not convincing them as easily if you just go, I'm just going to take. Everything's for sale. Take whatever you want. Like, that's not going to work either.
All right, it's your show. I'm going to stop, and we can go to break.
No, I mean,
Whoa.
wow. Yeah, look at that. Now he's pulling boss stuff.
No, that was it. Oh,
I
can keep going.
Well,
I can
technically on
keep
this
going
show,
if
we
you
break
want.
whenever we want.
Oh,
Well, it's
you're
true.
right. You're right.
There's a break whenever we want.
Yeah.
So
I think you got everything there, whether they win every game or lose every game from here on out.
They're not
you have
going to do
everything
either,
there.
though, is the point.
No, it's going to be in the mid-range. They're going to end up with the 16th pick.
And
it's
that's
not gonna-
that's where they are right now. They're 13. So what's the difference? Do you think the player that you're going to get is appreciably better at 13 than 16?
People do move up one spot. They do trades and move things around
that
for one
happens on
spot.
the day of when surprises happen.
Right.
Not in November.
No, but we were talking about the draft. The draft's going to be next
Right,
year.
but you can't predict that, is my point. People move up the day of the draft.
Yes.
By the way, Elvis in the IE in the Circle of Trust sent me a picture of his bird. He's got a 13-pound one. I want to see pictures of your bird. Post them. DM them. I want to know what size bird you got for Thanksgiving. I want turkey talk. No tanking turkeys
Gobble,
either.
gobble, gobble.
Exactly right.
LAOC card says, why does Corporate Greg make everyone yell at him?
That is a good point.
It really is.
Wow,
I
he's
mean,
on point.
It is fair.
I think I'm the only
Mason
one that
yells at me
doesn't
all the
yell.
time.
You know where I'm going tomorrow? Thank God after this conversation. LAX at Los Angeles International Airport. Changes are arriving daily to help transform the travel experience. The LAX economy parking structure is now open with thousands of smart parking spaces as well as hundreds of EV charging stations. I'm going to go take a full tour coming up here soon because you know what's coming up soon at LAX? Terminal 9, baby. New terminal. You can connect from every single terminal. You can walk right now, but then they're going to get that people mover train for you, okay? It'll connect you to the entire airport. It'll connect you to the new car rental facility they're going to have. All major rental car brands under one roof, all right? But you know what the people mover train will do? Connect you to LA Metro. No cars. You don't even have to drive to LAX if you don't want to in the future. And they've got modernized terminals for biometric gates for faster boarding. Who doesn't want to get to their flight faster? So for more information about LAX's transformation, go to flylax.com/transforminglax. That's flylax.com/transforminglax.
All right, guys, it's officially back. Fifth Row Fridays presented by BBGO.
That's the official game day snack of the Lakers, by the way. And this is the best thing we give away. Fifth row seats to a Laker game. How many times do people come up to us and say, hey, give me Laker tickets?
Yes.
We don't have them. I don't even have them, but you can win them if you listen every day.
And these seats are better than the seats that you and Michael have, right?
15 rows better.
Yeah.
Michael and I are like row 20. So here's how you win. You listen every day to all the shows and take notes. If you can answer 5 questions about what happened on the show that day, you're eligible to win.
And don't forget, on Fridays, your chance to call in all 5 right answers, and you are in the fifth row at Crypto.com Arena for a Lakers game.
For free!
Gonna live forever. 9 minutes in front of 4 o'clock. Sedano and Kap on a live imaging Tuesday. Corporate Greg's here, in for Cappy.
And Beto now.
And Beto now.
Amin's calling. You want me to pick it up?
No. That's so 2018.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Jeez.
go ahead. But he didn't like that we did bits.
That's not true.
No, he did not. He used to fight with Raj and I.
I'm on the air right now, and Chris says that you didn't like doing bits.
He didn't. He used to be like, oh, the Levitard show's funny. And we'd be like, we're funnier.
Which Chris is this?
Morales.
Chris Morales.
He remembers. Don't act like you don't remember.
What bits? It depends on what the bits.
Yeah, he would always be like, oh, Raj, you and Raj want to be on the air like the Levitard crew. We were like, well, we need to be, or this show's not going to be. It's going to be stiff. On this day in 1995, Coolio released his sophomore album, Gangsta's Paradise.
There you go.
From
Did
the
you know
movie
that, Amin,
Dangerous
that today
Minds.
In 1995, that happened.
Yeah, we're still doing the same bits over here, I mean. What's Amin got?
I'm going to meet Amin for lunch tomorrow
Oh, really?
in Phoenix, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Amin, can I call you after I'm done with this debauchery of a show? All right, see you.
All right, later.
Remember when we had the Amin said?
I know. It was a great bit.
It was a great bit.
Yeah.
That was a great bit.
That was a good bit. I like
It
that.
was. You got to crank out bits like that again. Meanwhile, you know what we're going to crank out on Thursday?
Yeah.
Your chance to win cash and Cowboys tickets this Thanksgiving. Join producer Lindsay Baseball and myself for a Thanksgiving watch party at the 909 Sports Bar at Yamava Resort and Casino, 1:30 p.m. So if you're eating the turkey early or you're eating it late, come and eat some turkey with us. Producer Lindsay has $1,000 to give away. Plus, you can enjoy delicious food, a huge selection of craft beer, football all day long, and get this. For people like Crypto Ray and stuff that are Cowboys fans, you can win Cowboys tickets to Jerry World, plus airfare. Yamava don't mess around.
Money.
1:30 Thursday, Thanksgiving, we'll be there for the Cowboys game, and it's going to be a fiesta and a extravaganza.
Fiesta.
I might. I got to know. Beto, should I wear the pilgrim outfit?
That would be funny, actually.
I don't know if I can squeeze into it.
Then yes.
yes,
If you can't squeeze in, then
That's
yes.
actually better.
Yeah, a little pancita hanging out, go for it, right?
I don't know if the pilgrims had the pancita.
Oh, they do
Yeah,
that.
yeah, they did. You
How do
don't
we
think
know?
there was heavy-set pilgrims?
I don't think so. I don't think there were a lot of heavy-set people back
I'm
then.
sure there were.
I think
They weren't
everyone was just thin.
They weren't eating every day.
Yeah, you're right. That was before the turkey, so yeah. Go for it, Chris. Wear it.
Maybe.
You should.
Thick
Maybe.
and sexy. There you go.
Oh, I like that.
There you go.
Speaking of that, Sunday Swagger, we got a Tuesday unveiling coming up, new product. And by the way, producer Lindsay posted a great video this morning from Sunday Swagger headquarters that we recorded last Friday. I shouldn't say we, I wasn't part of it.
Yeah.
In
By
fact,
the
that's-
way, the pilgrims apparently, once they got off the Mayflower, not so heavy. But then once they were here, they were able to get heavier.
Yeah, but you had to hunt for food back then.
Yeah, I mean, but,
You really Googled it?
I mean, it's on the History Channel.
And producer Lindsay got you the exact quarter zip that I'm wearing right now, the peak.
Yeah.
From the Sunday Swagger headquarters last Friday when we were there. And you're not going to put it on?
I will. Do I have to put it on right now?
I would like it.
Okay.
That's the black one? Oh, that's a nice one.
No, the peak, this one.
Okay.
It's like a nice
The black one he has
see,
right there.
we're
That's the one I
matching.
wore at Laker game the other day. People were like, ooh, that's nice.
Well, I had people vote, and it looks like all of the
My
votes were for the
friend
pink
told me.
one.
I think it's like salmon, though.
That's perfect for
It's like
Miami.
pink.
Is there
Salmon.
that much
It's
of a
pink.
difference between salmon
Yeah,
and
no,
pink?
it's more pink than salmon for sure. Because salmon's a little
Because
more
pink
orange.
is bold.
Okay.
Pink
Yep.
hits you. You only put some headphones on.
Like bright pink, or are you talking about is salmon more orangey?
Yes, it's
Salmon's a
definitely
little
more
softer.
orange.
See?
Yeah.
Softer.
Yeah. Ooh, that looks good.
Like what color is your mic cover?
That's
Lindsay?
pink.
That's pink.
Yeah.
Is it that much different than what you guys are wearing?
Yeah, this is softer right here.
All right.
This looks good. That's good pickleball uniform right there.
Sunday
I see
Swagger.
prime colors.
SundaySwagger.com. It's the Black Friday sale, so you don't even need the code right now. Deep discounts. SundaySwagger.com, the official golf polo, pickleball polo, or just if you're wearing this quarter. I'm going to be wearing this quarter zip on Thanksgiving at Yamava. Why not?
It stretches.
You want to see the four-way stretch?
No.
You sure you're up close right
How
now?
about three-way?
Well, sometimes. Anyway, thank you, Sedano, for putting it on. We'll take a picture.
Okay.
You going to yell at Bergman more?
No, we'll wait till the next segment.
All right.
Okay. I don't know what we're going to yell about. It might be Lakers. Could be UCLA basketball.
I mean, UCLA basketball.
76-47.
It's pretty good.
Over Sean.
I mean, they lost to Marquette yesterday.
Marquette's
Marquette's really good.
Marquette's fourth best team in the country.
Right. Shaka's good.
These guys are all freshmen for the most part, or sophomores.
Yeah.
The
They're gonna be
All-State
good,
Maui
though.
Invitational.
I have no problem with UCLA basketball. I think they're going to be really good again.
Mick
Yeah,
Cronin
solid.
is the best coach in America.
I mean,
Not the best.
Whoa.
I think the best because I just love him.
Bruin talk with Bergman. All right.
Yeah.
Someone's going to do it. No one else is going to do it, and literally nobody else is going to do it.
I actually think you wanted to fire Chip Kelly. I actually don't think that you should have done that.
This is the thing. If I would fire Chip Kelly unless you don't care about NIL. If you don't
But
care
why?
about NIL.
Didn't Casey Wasserman come out and say, he's got it covered?
No, he said, oh, no, he can't do all of it, but
I mean, he can if he wants.
apparently UCLA donors are withholding NIL money
According
until
to the
he's fired.
Bruin report.
Yes,
Online.
to Bro. Yeah,
Yeah.
That is something that.
But everyone else that is involved in the program has denied that to be the
Well,
case.
what is Martin Jarman going to say? He's like,
well,
yeah,
why
we're
would
gonna
Casey
fire him.
Wasserman lie?
Well, that was the biggest thing that makes it interesting, that Wasserman came out saying that he wants Chip Kelly there. And the biggest donor at UCLA wants a coach there, probably going to stay. But that means that you're going to lose NIL money and you don't really care about that portion of it, then fine.
Because he could
Stay.
cover it.
Who cares then?
Right. I mean, he did
can't
say
cover all of it.
He said fire Chip Kelly talk is, quote, ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, it is kind of ridiculous when you've had the 3 seasons you've had. Like, what are you?
The last 3
Okay,
seasons.
so I'll ask you what Cappy asked.
Are you going to
yesterday.
yell at me when I do
No,
this?
I'm asking you the question. Cappy actually brought this up. Cappy said, "What are your expectations?"
My expectations are to be in the top 25 every year and to be fighting for the Pac-12 championship.
Okay.
And then maybe on and
Well, you're not
maybe-
going to be in the
and-
Pac-12 much longer, so there's
well,
that.
so fine,
Yeah.
the Big Ten championship, and then hopefully at some point fighting for a playoff spot at the end of the year. If you can get in there, that'd be great.
Fighting for a playoff spot.
At
Well,
some
that's
point,
ambitious.
look,
That's ambitious.
Okay, well,
Even
it's
in the
not that-
12-team format, that's
can't
going to
even
be
win the
ambitious.
Pac-12.
No, in the
Now you wanna be a playoff
12-team
team?
format is very, very.
Let's pull
doable.
that audio, like that time that he said, what's his name? Was
No,
it
no,
Val
no.
Kilmer?
He said Val Kilmer was the best Batman.
I'll
Yeah,
admit
yeah.
that was a mistake. No,
Yeah.
I didn't say he was the best Batman. I said he was better than Christian Bale, and that was wrong.
Yeah. Last year, you were the 21st team in the country at the end of the season.
Yeah, so I think you should be there every single year.
Okay.
The problem,
every
there's
single
stats-
year?
UCLA football, USC football, USC basketball, and UCLA basketball with the things, the talent that you have in Los Angeles that are all right here. NIL being in Los Angeles, that should keep people here.
Let me ask you a serious
should be
question
25.
that I don't know the answer to.
Okay.
How deep are the pockets at UCLA? Because
Not that
it's deep. It's
That's the
deep for
problem.
it's deep for basketball, right? Because there's not as many players. But is it deep enough to sustain a real football team? Because that's the reality of the world now.
Okay, they're in Westwood, and a lot of the fans that are in there in Brentwood and Beverly Hills. There's money. They can
Okay.
get them. They can get the money. It's whether they want to spend it or not.
Okay.
And if they don't want to spend it on because
But they
Chip
haven't
Kelly-
spent it, period.
They haven't, and they have not done a good job.
So
and
it's like a
that's
fake
problem.
threat.
And honestly, that's a problem from Martin Jarman not doing enough of getting more NIL money in to be able to bring those players in. So if you can,
I mean, now you're blaming the one AD who's actually done something for you. I mean, you used to hate Dan Guerrero too. So.
Dan Guerrero.
I love Martin Jarman. I think he's doing a great job. I love that he brings in the HBCUs. I think it's a good for the program. I think it's
Well,
for them.
and okay.
He's changed it around. He's done
Since
well.
Martin Jarman arrived,
The Jordan brand too.
are the
Jordan Brown- yeah,
are
huge.
are athletics better? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
So what? I mean, he just got here 3 years ago.
I'm not saying that I like Martin Jarman. I think that if you're going to,
it doesn't
actually,
sound like you love Martin Jarman all that much. I gotta be honest with you.
I would love to see more into the NIL programs that are around that they can bring in more dudes.
Okay.
And that hasn't happened yet. Maybe it can get there. But if you want to compete in the Big Ten and in Los Angeles and with all the talent in both basketball and football that's there, it can happen. You can turn this program around in football very, very quickly.
Oh,
a lot
very quickly?
Well, no.
You know what?
Hold on.
They've only had 3 straight
can't-
winning seasons. Now this will be the third time they've done it in 50 years.
Okay.
What are you talking
Okay,
about?
well, no, but you have the coach. You're saying you have the coach. You're saying, wait, I don't know what you're laughing about.
I'm just saying, like, don't make it seem like it's that easy.
No,
it's not that easy.
It should be that when you have this coach going into year 7, that you should be seeing an uptick every single year, and you should be fighting for a Pac-12 championship at least last 2 to 3 years. It's not happening. They were close, but they're not there yet.
Okay.
4 o'clock at KSPN Los Angeles, a good Karma Branch radio
Are
station.
we just sweeping the top at this point?
No, we're not going to sweep. We need to get some in.
Oh, okay.
We need to
All right,
put a
Greg,
little.
we'll get back to this then.
Okay.
But let me tell you about our friends at NextGen, which is the official AC Heat and Plumbing company of SoCal sports fans. That's right. NextGen is the absolute best in the business, has thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. And forget about that. I mean, that's important. But how about the Sedano review? Because I had an issue. I called my guy Ismail. Ismail's the owner. Grew up here in Southern California, in the Southland. Anaheim, born and raised, started off as a tech, now the CEO of his own company. The American dream right there, baby. I called Ismail. I said, yo, Ismail, I got an issue with my drain. He's like, you want me to send somebody tonight? I'm like, no, bro. That's crazy. Like, I love you for it, but we can just do it tomorrow. Right? The guy was there an hour early. Rigo, who was my serviceman, not only explained everything to me, educated me on the situation, and then we were done. And you know what it was? It was $44 a drain. It's that simple. Because if you're sick of dealing with a slow drain, you get a drain cleaning with a camera inspection for only $44. All right? And here's the other thing you get right now. A 28-point full heat and AC safety inspection and tune-up for only $44 through the end of the month. All that stuff, never seen before pricing. They got over 400 trucks in the Southland for you, 10 locations. So whether you're in the IE, whether you're in the desert, whether you're in the OC, or you're in LA County, they got you covered. So you got AC heat and plumbing needs, NextGen is the place to call. Call them at 833-3-NEXTGEN. That's 833-3-NEXGEN. That's 833-3-NEXTGen. Go online to get your appointment at nextgenairandplumbing.com.
Tease the season.
Big news, Laker fans. John Ireland here. You can now stream every Lakers game on the ESPN LA app. Don't miss a second of the action with Michael Thompson and I on the call. Plus, all your live and local Lakers talk every day in the palm of your hand.
You're one tap away from everything Lakers.
You could even win Lakers tickets.
Download the ESPN LA app and bam!
Download the ESPN LA app at the App Store and Google Play.
Three minutes after 4 o'clock on a live imaging Tuesday on Sedano and Kap. Cappy out today. Corporate Greg is here. Better than Rand. Of course, producer Lindsay, producer Laura. Real quick, did you notice that there is a gratitude board now up in the lobby?
Is there?
Where you're supposed to write, this is GKB thing, you're supposed to write messages of gratitude. And I wrote, I'm grateful for Mason and Ireland. And then somebody wrote, I just still don't know who wrote, I'm grateful for CMM. That's me.
Oh, well, there you have it.
I was hoping that Mason Ireland would notice it.
Yeah, probably not.
They didn't.
What if that was Ireland or Mason?
Nah, they don't know about I don't think they knew about the gratitude board.
Yeah.
Walked by.
I mean, they don't really know anything other than that happens in the studio, to be honest with you.
But I mean, I want you to write something on the gratitude board. What would
Where
you write?
is the board?
It's over there, right there. In the lobby.
It's right next to the kitchen.
Oh, okay.
You should write something on there.
Okay.
Like, I'm grateful for Cappy.
Yeah, perhaps.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
I mean, is it anonymous or just people know that you're writing?
Is it anonymous?
Well,
I can't let anyone know that I'm grateful for Cappy.
Right.
I mean, come on.
His head would explode.
That's funny.
Poor guy.
George loves me. Oh.
Come on.
Is it an anonymous board?
Well, unless you sign your name.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
I'll
what I'm
sign
saying.
it. I'll go
See,
sign it.
people kind of know
Grateful
my
for Cappy. George.
people kind of know my writing, so people would know that I wrote Mason and Ireland. I mean,
By the way, didn't you have an issue with Cappy
well, which one?
about Instagram?
Oh yeah.
Were you going to reveal that today, or?
Yeah. I meant to have Lindsay print out because I wanted to blow it up and print it. I can't print on my computer for some reason.
What do you do on Instagram?
No one can.
What you need to know, by the way, is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times, less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Linz, what do you got real quick before we move on here?
All right, so after 60 years, the Rolling Stones are still going strong, and they're gearing up for another concert tour.
Oh.
The rock band announced today that they will embark on the Hackney Diamonds tour in support of the recent album. The tour is being sponsored by AARP. How appropriate, right?
That's funny.
And they're going to be making a stop at SoFi Stadium July 10th. Pre-sale tickets will be available Wednesday, November 29th at noon.
Okay, cool. I have no interest in watching the Stones, although I do love a little start me up on like karaoke, but I mean, that's about it.
It's got to be a spectacle to behold, right?
At some point, you go to one of those concerts, although,
Seeing
you know
all
what?
those 80-year-old guys up on stage, like, I wonder if they still got it.
Well, Elton John did outperform my expectations when I saw him pre-COVID at the Forum. I didn't know what to expect at 70-something years old, but he was very good.
Are the Stones one of those bands you just have to see one time?
No.
Like while you have a chance?
Not
I am.
really.
I'm going to go to that.
Yeah, just to see them?
And I'm the one who doesn't go anywhere, but realizing the Stones are one of those iconic bands, I've never seen them.
And where's the concert again?
At SoFi.
SoFi.
Like, so I'm going to go just to say I went.
I mean, is SoFi good for concerts?
It's more of the spectacle.
Yeah.
And plus, when you got a guy, you're going to go.
Like, I would want to see Paul McCartney just because he was a Beatle. I'd like to see him. That's it. Like, I don't need to see what he's singing or any of that. It's like, hey,
I saw Paul McCartney perform at the Super Bowl in Jacksonville. I've told this story where I was seated with our friends from Good Karma, actually.
Way back when.
Way back in the day.
See, that's why we're bigger than U.S. Steel now. The seeds were planted 20 years ago.
2004 in Jacksonville, which is the worst Super Bowl host city ever.
Jeez.
And I was seated there on the aisle, and to the left of me, I've told this story before, was Ice Cube and Little O'Shea across the aisle from me. But McCartney was the act because this was coming off the year of Boobygate.
Yes.
With Janet and what's his face?
Timberlake.
Timberlake. Yeah, and it was the most boring thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Is he a sir?
Yeah.
Paul McCartney, he's a sir?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the worst Super Bowl performance or concert event I've ever been to. it was so boring.
Probably the best thing
But he got a
Jacksonville's
story
ever
out of
seen.
it. And you saw
Right, but I actually walked up and was like, you know what, I'm gonna get something to drink. Like, I don't care.
It was that bad?
It was bad.
It was safe.
It was pretty bad.
Was it worse than The Who?
Yes, at least the Who was running around and doing stuff. You know?
what was? But
McCartney was just sitting there.
Who was the act directly coming off of?
It was
Boobygate?
McCartney.
No, it was. There was
Yes.
one
No,
between.
that's what it was.
It was McCartney.
I remember.
No, because that was 2005.
That was 2004.
Yeah.
No, right, but
we were there for 2005 in Jacksonville. So there was one between.
Right, but it's the 2004 season. Is my point.
No, I know, but the Boobygate was January 2003.
I thought it was the 2003 season.
I'm fairly certain George is right because I remember.
Shocking that you would say that.
No, I'm just saying. I remember
Smart
working.
producer.
I remember working. I was working.
Well, I was at
Hooters.
both games, so
I was not at the Boobygate.
Wait, you're working where?
I was working at Hooters at the time, and I remember being like,
I mean,
oh
George
my gosh,
may be right, but
could they
I
have made
feel like
a
there was
more
one before.
boring Super Bowl halftime performer?
No,
And
because January 2003 was Shania Twain, and no
Oh,
doubt.
really?
Yeah.
I don't even remember
And
Shania.
February 1st, 2004 was Janet Jackson and
So then
Justin
2005 was
Timberlake.
Paul
And it was Paul McCartney.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was McCartney.
People
and
were
then the
falling
Rolling
asleep.
Stones the next year.
They were
And then the
narcoleptic.
and then they had Prince,
Still are.
and that one I was at, and that was great.
Yeah.
He
In
had
the
his
rain.
phallic symbol guitar
They
in
went
the rain.
Paul McCartney, Rolling Stones back to back.
Yeah.
That couldn't have been good.
Keeping it, safe and low key.
So there you go.
Yeah, very safe.
That is what you need to know. Brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times, less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Don't test my memory, Christopher.
Well, I was with you on some of those.
Yeah, but you weren't really there.
Yeah, I was.
You were there physically.
Oh, back in those days?
Think about the timing.
Mentally, were you there?
I didn't get into that until probably. Nah, I was into that.
So Mason has texted me.
What about what?
He would know old man
SoFi
music.
is great for concerts. I saw Swift, Beyonce, and Pink there. It's really spectacular.
Oh God, he's got to stop being a SoFi apologist. Anyway, here's
Is the food better for concerts?
I doubt it. It's
No,
the same
no,
company.
Same food.
Same food.
Same food.
I'm very
It's
disappointed
bad.
in the food there.
It's awful.
Food's only good for the media. The
So
rest of
bad.
the place, nah.
So Friday morning, I posted, of course, the picture of Cappy and I in the robes at Yamava, coming off of our stay together. Later that
It was a
evening,
good photo.
so
It was a good
somebody
night. It was a good night.
somebody had commented in the comments, whatever it takes to get paid.
Correct.
Well, one Rachel commented many hours later, late in the night,
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
and with one word, sadly.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
That's quite a cheap shot there. Low blow, Rachel.
Sadly?
That is a bit of a low blow.
She does not like the bit. Not a fan of the
Clearly. I think that's something you and her need to hash out.
Wow. Should we get her on the air at some point?
I mean, not when I'm here. Not when I'm here, please. Yeah.
So,
I want no part of
tomorrow when
this.
it's just Cappy?
I mean, on a day like Chris and
Get on
Cappy
the
do the
Cappy
show
Cast.
together.
Yeah, maybe you should do it on the drive live. You, Chris.
Oh,
and
that
That's a
they
good
can
one.
be
Rachel.
honest.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I kind of feel like Cappy's only got one ticket to Mandy's 2023 now.
Oh,
Oh,
Wow.
you know she's gonna find a way to get in there.
I got
Don't
a
even
plus
trip.
one. Let's go, Rachel.
Who said you're coming?
It doesn't matter. Who says I need to be invited? I'm going to show up anyways.
That is true.
How do you think I'm in the studio right now?
That's also
Oh,
true.
nobody invited you?
Yes.
Never.
Oh.
All right. So anyway, I think that's something you need to address, Christopher. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Well, here's the thing.
No más digo.
Let's just use Kelly as an example.
Oh, wow.
No matter how much she may not like a bit, let's say you and I had to sleep in the same hotel room,
Yeah.
and she didn't like it. She's like, why are you doing this bit? You know, blah, blah,
There would
blah.
not be a public.
There wouldn't be a public post, right?
Correct.
Right.
I mean, listen, that's something you got to. That's. My name is Paul, and that's between y'all. You know what I'm saying? So.
I mean, like today, we had Lisa Ireland on the
UCLA
show.
baseball.
Yeah.
We had
She
Lisa.
would never post anything about
Well,
that.
but she was great on the air. That,
she was
that
fantastic.
5 minutes may be a Mandy's award-winning bit.
Right.
she
I didn't hear
She
it, but,
definitely
yeah.
said some
She was
fun
talking about
stuff.
the turkey and moist and
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff.
All right, fair
Just
enough.
imagine.
Because I've been talking about turkeys a lot. By the way, Beto, what kind of bird you got Thursday?
Nothing.
What do you mean nothing?
Nah, my parents are 81. What we do is everybody just shows up at the house when they show up, and that's it. Then I drink with my dad starting at 5 o'clock.
Well,
when we
that's
get started.
lovely. But is there a turkey?
No.
Oh, what kind of food?
Nothing like there'll be some tortillas,
Some
and beans.
tamales?
Nah, not really.
No?
My parents are old, so what we do is like at my house, it's everybody shows up. I'm the only single one, so I hang out with the old people.
No, I mean
And then-
you kind of sing. You got a lot of highness.
Ooh.
Kind of a lot of highness.
None of the holidays.
It's true. I was trying to tell Corporate Greg earlier.
Yeah, so
You got to be careful spending time with people on the
Yes.
holidays.
Oh yeah, don't
That's
do
true.
that.
I'm
ever.
not spending time with anybody but my family.
Anyways, so
this
yeah,
holiday season.
Okay.
we just everybody shows up, pops in, says hi, boom, gets yelled at by my mom, and then they leave before they go to their white in-laws, and then they go and hang out. And
Before I go to Yamava, you want to cruise by the mayor's house, you and me?
no, I'm gonna run a turkey tot in Torrance, and then I'll start drinking at 9 o'clock at Carson Park with my buddies from the neighborhood, and then pass out about 1, wake up, get yelled at, and then 5 o'clock, me and my dad I play Spotify for him, and
Oh, I
all these
love
like
that.
songs from when he grew up, and he's like, how do they have that song? Because he doesn't understand
Right.
Spotify works.
That's the best.
And we get drunk, and then
Every
about-
song.
Yeah, about 7 o'clock, I'm passed out.
And speaking of relationships, as you referenced, Christopher,
Yes.
coming up next, I want to get into something that is a little eye-opening about Lincoln Riley and Caleb Williams' relationship.
Oh, I got something for you.
Okay, well, there you go. And Beto has something, too. So we'll have all that coming up next.
All right, guys, it's officially back. Fifth Row Fridays presented by BBGO.
That's the official game day snack of the Lakers, by the way. And this is the best thing we give away. Fifth row seats to a Laker game. How many times do people come up to us and say, hey, give me Laker tickets? Yes. We don't have them. I don't even have them, but you can win them if you listen every day.
And these seats are better than the seats that you and Michael have, right?
15 rows better.
Yeah.
Michael and I are like row 20. So here's how you win. You listen every day to all the shows and take notes. If you can answer 5 questions about what happened on the show that day, you're eligible to win.
And don't forget, on Fridays, your chance to call in all 5 right answers, and you are in the 5th row at Crypto.com Arena for a Lakers game.
For free! Big news, Laker fans. John Ireland here. You can now stream every Lakers game on the ESPN LA app. Don't miss a second of the action with Michael Thompson and I on the call. Plus, all your live and local Lakers talk every day in the palm of your hand.
You're one tap away from everything Lakers.
You could even win Lakers tickets.
Download the ESPN LA app and bam!
Download the ESPN LA app at the App Store and Google Play.
Quarter after 4 o'clock. I said it earlier. I know you, Sedano. Oh, I know you, sucker.
Oh, I know.
See, I thought I was going to hit. Then you snuck in, and we both hit it together. Mm-hmm. On this day, back in 1987, the number 1 hit, Billy Idol. Money, Money. Now, of course, originally done by Tommy James and the Shondells, Money, Money. Are you sure this isn't the Tommy James version?
I don't know.
Sounds
It was
really-
whatever in the system.
I think this is the Tommy James version, not the Billy Idol version.
I have
But that's
that too.
okay.
Hold on,
Doesn't sound
hold on.
like Billy Idol.
I like the original, though.
Isn't Billy Idol in a new commercial?
Probably.
I saw him on a commercial.
It's also National Gingerbread Cookie Day. There we go.
Gingerbread
This
cookie's not terrible.
I don't mind it. There we go.
At the
There's-
right times.
This is the Billy Idol version.
System doesn't have updated stuff, but it's
We got to work
pretty
on the
good.
system.
Mm.
By the way, I just saw DeAndre walk in from the Funny Games department.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier, I did a joke on Travis and Sliwa. Andy Kamenetsky was in.
Yeah.
They were talking about what do you drink at Thanksgiving, and I said, well, you know, Brian's going to get into that purple drink. Mm-hmm. DeAndre fell to his knees and didn't stop laughing for an hour.
He's still laughing right now.
Could you see Brian Kamenetsky sipping on purple drink on Thanksgiving?
Sure, why not?
I mean, come on.
Yeah. I don't put anything past anyone.
That would be amazing. And Billy Idol's in a Workday commercial.
That's what it is.
Workday.
I don't know what that is, but I've seen him on TV.
Oh,
Also-
we use Workday.
We use
It's
Workday.
brutal.
He was great in The Wedding Singer.
He was.
He was. That was many, many, many moons ago, but he was great in it. There's no doubt. So, speaking of great, Lincoln Riley has had a really good run of great quarterbacks historically as a coach. And look, there's plenty of knocks on Lincoln Riley about, he doesn't care about defense or whatever. And maybe some of that stuff is true. I don't know Lincoln Riley at all, so I'm not going to sit here and speculate. But it does feel like he clearly leans offense, right? Like, I don't think anyone's debating that. One thing, though, that kind of caught my attention was the more I talk to people about, because, again, I don't know him. So I just start trying to, like, poke around, like, and talk to people that maybe do have a better understanding of Lincoln Riley. And clearly he's a quarterback guy. There's no question about that. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. Washington just got into the top 4 in the college football playoff.
Oh, wow.
So, good God.
4. That win over Oregon State.
As a USC fan.
Actually pretty big.
Just like when we saw TCU go up there last year because we couldn't win the stinking Pac-12 championship game, it turns your stomach. Oh, it's disgusting.
If they win out, they should stay because Ohio State is going to beat Michigan or
right. And with Florida State losing their quarterback,
they're done.
Do you see Washington being able to beat any of those teams?
So why didn't they move Florida State further down with the loss of the quarterback? That's usually what they do.
Well, I mean, they're still really loaded.
They usually go by what is actually out there, but yes, they are. I don't know with their backup quarterback.
I mean, he's fine.
Fine.
Yeah.
Can he get wins?
Maybe they're that good.
Okay,
it's possible.
I don't know Florida State that well.
So anyway, back to Lincoln Riley. So he's clearly a quarterback guy, and again, nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of coaches, particularly in college, that have great relationships with their quarterbacks. But the more and more I talk to people, the more and more I started to hear, well, yes, he's a quarterback guy, but maybe to a fault. And I'm like, well, what the hell does that mean? And it became more and more like, well, it feels like there's a different set of rules for those guys on his teams.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I started to think about it, right? Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, the alleged, I don't know either of the guys, but the alleged knock on those guys are that they're maybe a little entitled, right?
They get what they want when they want.
And then you start to hear rumblings about that being the case with Caleb, too, now, who, by the way, I think is more talented than both those guys.
By far.
Okay. I think Caleb, and I will repeat this, I said this last year, I'll say it again. At that age, I've never seen a quarterback play better than him.
He's the best college quarterback I have ever seen.
With my own eyes, 100%.
Not DTR, Greg?
Small hands, no.
DTR did good this week.
He didn't do bad, no.
But anyway,
Lindsay
so
doesn't think
I have been on the Caleb bandwagon since day one. Okay, actually Beto just left. I did the his last game at Oklahoma. It was the Alamo Bowl against Washington. No, Oregon. Against Oregon. It was against Oregon. So I've seen him play since he was a freshman. So I've been a big fan. But I really started to think about that. Like, oh, maybe he does kind of entitle and enable his quarterbacks in a way that could potentially, I don't want to say disrupt the locker room, but certainly not put the locker room in a good place, right? And that's all fine and dandy when you're winning, but if you have a season like this where things aren't going necessarily the way it's supposed to go, does that stuff come back to bite you? And maybe it does. Maybe it does. Again, and I don't know how much I blame the kid in that scenario, because at the end of the day, you're a kid. If I was 20 years old or 21 years old and somebody wanted to give me all the luxuries and I didn't have to necessarily abide by the same rules, I'm sure as bleep going to do it, okay? Like, I don't think there's any 20-year-old that would act any other way, okay? However, that's on the coach to not necessarily make sure that gets out of control, perhaps. And according to the people I've talked to over the years, right, or that have dealt with him over the years, they say that perhaps that he's a little too lenient on the quarterback.
Is that also a bad thing? Usually your quarterback is the star of the team. He's the one that's the front-facing guy. You win and lose because of the quarterback for the most part. He was the reason that they won a bunch of those games. He's the reason they beat Arizona earlier in the year. So
he's amazing.
He's amazing, and so you kind of have to give that, and especially in the NFL too. The quarterback is propped up so much.
Sure.
So isn't that how it should be?
But I actually think in college that's the one place you can kind of still keep it like on the, like, hey, yes, this guy is the most important position, but there needs to be a sense of we're a team here, and guys need to want to feel like they're gonna play for you. So when you in the pros, I actually feel like that probably happens more. But everybody understands it. You're professionals. You're not kids. And I know people can say, "Oh, you're not kids at 18 years." Whatever, dude. We can argue that all day.
Professional athletes, that whole thing, blah blah blah.
I don't care. You're 20 years old. When you were 20 years old, you're listening right now. You were a schmuck. Okay, because you know what? When I was 20 years old, I was a schmuck. When Chris and Greg were 20 years old, they were schmucks. Okay,
Still, but that's fine.
And my point is, when you're 20 years old, you don't know any better. When you're a professional player, you understand the hierarchy. But when you're playing in college, okay, at that level, the idea is, okay, yeah, he's the best player, but does he have to have completely separate rules? I just don't know if that plays the same way, because you're talking about immature people compared to adults who are professionals.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think with the transfer portal and the types of people that you're bringing in, to get somebody to come from Pitt when it was Jordan Addison, right? You had to say, we're going to prop you up. You have to recruit them to come from another school. And that's basically what USC has become. It's just a transfer portal, gateway, essentially, that some people are just coming to them. You have to get them to go. You got to prop them up. And if they have Caleb Williams being heavier than them, I don't know. I think it goes to your point, is all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I just think that was something that kind of stood out to me as recently because I think Cappy was the first to kind of bring it up, that there was some chatter about that. So I started making some calls, and the more and more I see them lose, the more and more maybe I'm seeing things, and maybe those things don't exist, but now it's confirmation bias at this point.
So
and I'm starting to look for
if
it.
they would have been 11-1, it wouldn't be this.
Well,
right, of course.
Again, because winning masks a lot of things.
Right.
So when there was the chatter of Caleb's family is saying that he's not going to go to a pick, that he's not going to play in
Arizona.
a city that he doesn't want to play in. Then, of course, he wants the part of an NFL team. He wants all these things. Do you think, George, it's on Lincoln, as more than just a coach, right, but an elder statesman, a big brother type, to say, hey, why don't we win the championship, get in the playoff, and then you could say all that stuff? Why are you putting that out there now? We haven't won anything.
I don't know if that's the kid's fault if something like that leaks. You know what I'm saying?
But how much is Lincoln Riley getting paid? As the master of
$11 million a year.
Right. Yeah. Don't you figure that out and put a seal on it? Don't you say, you know what, we don't really need these headlines. Let's go win football games, kid. And if it's your family leaking this or your dad or whatever, let's try to stop this, because we don't need this. We don't need these distractions.
I would agree with that, but I also think that.
Or does Lincoln Riley like it? Does he like?
Well, I don't think he likes it. Let's not be ridiculous. I don't think any coach likes any of that stuff.
No, I think he likes being the quarterback guru that has you come. If you're a quarterback and you come to play for me, you're going to be a Heisman Trophy winner, or at least a candidate to be a Heisman Trophy winner. So I think he likes that portion of it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's fair.
Oh, you just responded in the circle. I was going to say that.
Yeah, because somebody says the show is pretentious with Cappy not being around. I'm like, pretentious? How so?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm curious.
Xander Wiley? I also want to know how big your bird is for turkey, for Thanksgiving.
I mean, right. We've been literally doing that, and then we just did a whole segment about Rachel on the IG account. I don't know what more you want me to do here. You know what I'm saying?
I was hurt by that.
Talk sports, then they're saying we're not.
I thought Rachel and I were getting closer.
Because I'm curious if Xander even understands the definition of pretentious. Now
that's
being pretentious, Xander. See, that's how that goes? See, that's being pretentious. If you want me to be a jerk face and be pretentious, I can do that by questioning you in that scenario. And that was done on purpose. And that, folks, is a masterclass right there.
Oh, they didn't even come from CMM right there.
Yeah.
Well, I was looking at the definition of pretentious. Attempting to impress by affecting greater importance, talent, culture, etc., than is actually possessed. No, we weren't unpretentious. We weren't.
No, this is all real.
Not when Sedano was bashing Greg's skull in for 20 minutes last hour.
I was arguing right back. Maybe
Can I talk? It's my show.
Yes. Sure, Sedano. It's your show.
No, I'm trying to hype it up so people go back and listen on the podcast.
Yeah, go listen. That first segment. Whoo-wee.
Come on, Greg. That's the theater of the mind, man.
I know.
Come on. By the way, what's on tap today? Thanks to our friends at Michelob Ultra. We got about an hour left of this thing. And then at 5:30, the Toyota Lakers countdown to tip-off, apparently with Sliwa, not Beto. I thought Sliwa took the day off from his show.
Wait a second.
But is still doing Lakers tonight.
How does that happen?
Exactly.
We've had this conversation many times. I don't know. I've
Aren't
never
you in
understood.
charge?
He asked for the day off. I gave him the day off, and then it never
Right.
came up.
But the day off means you don't do the Lakers too.
Well, I remember I asked him because I was like, so Beto was going to do pregame that day, and Greg was like, no, Sliwa still likes to do the Lakers game even if he's off. And I was like, why?
Well, but then
He was
that's
like, I don't know.
You know, technically he can't. That's like against the rules.
Against the rules.
Yeah, I mean
Because
technically.
he's not on air and he's off.
Took
No,
the
but
day-
what I'm
if you,
saying-
if you
The day
ask for
off.
the day off, you get the whole day
yes,
off.
the whole
Right.
day off. Yep.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, Slee was a rule breaker now.
Yeah, what is this?
Wow.
Bad to the bone.
Oh,
This is what happens when you're a secret agent and you're doing certain things.
I don't like it.
Try
I
and
said
get
the
away.
wrong information on the air today. I looked bad. I had a whole bit about how he actually took both off for a change, and I was wrong. And
He
I don't
made
like
you
to be
be
wrong.
wrong?
I would
Yeah,
have
he made
preferred
me
he
be
took
wrong.
both off. I didn't even look at that stuff. But so that's on me. I should have not let him. He's doing
Run
it
a
tomorrow.
tighter ship, Greg.
I will tomorrow too. He's doing it tomorrow also.
But he's off from his show.
Speaking of Lakers, I do have some Lakers stuff that I want to get
Ooh,
to.
what you got?
I'll tell you on the other side. But I do also, while you're here, Greg,
Yes.
I want to take advantage of your Dodgers expertise too,
Ooh.
because I have some Dodgers stuff. Although you want to do the Sunday Swagger unveil at 4:45.
Don't say it with like that.
I'm just asking.
We are lucky to do the Sunday
was a
Swagger
question.
unveil at 4:45, and you are wearing the great. We're matching right now.
Right.
If you're on the YouTubes, and DeAndre, this better get cut up for the Mandy sucker. Stop talking to people in there. Sedano and I matching? We haven't matched. I don't know if we've ever matched close. It's usually kind of a Cappy thing.
It's very sweet.
So yeah, we'll do that at 4:45 for about 2-3 minutes, and then we could talk your stinking sports.
Well, I want to get Greg's expertise.
On what?
The Dodgers.
Oh,
love the
yeah,
Dodgers.
the Dodgers.
He does the blue review.
That's true.
For now.
No, he's
Can I
doing
talk
it.
for now?
You're doing it next year.
No, I'm doing it next year too.
Who are you doing it with?
Well, it's with Clinton
And Parker.
and Parker Bell. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what
Parker
we
Bell's doing a great
I
job.
mean, are you
on
going to do a hot stove blue review?
They should do
it.
hot
So
stuff.
in the off season, it is Parker Bell's blue review.
Okay.
So whenever he wants to do it, he's welcome to do it. And
Right.
He knows it. And
You
he's gonna do it
can't,
with
but
Cody
you're not
Liu, I think, too.
participating?
If they ask me to, sure.
Oh, in the hot stove blue review?
Hot stove. There's so much going on.
I mean, it's a warm stove at the moment, but the hot stove
the
will be
rumors-
heating up here certainly soon.
the rumors are out there.
Well, okay. Well, let's get to that. We'll get to that and some Lakers next. You know.
4:30 in the Southland on a live imaging Tuesday. Sedano and Kap. Corporate Greg's here, in for Cappy. Bad to the bone. We're playing that for Sliwa.
He is. He's breaking the rules, that Sliwa. Who knew?
Because this guy's he's taking the day off for his radio show, but then doing Lakers pre. By the way, it starts at 5:30. The Toyota Lakers countdown to tip-off. Where is Sliwa? Let's get him on.
Yeah, I would say get him
He's
on.
probably going to be connected somewhere. Or is he coming in?
No, he's going to the arena.
Oh, that's
Is he really?
why.
Yeah, he's going
'Cause
to
he's going
the
to
arena.
the game.
So
that
does-
makes sense.
Does that
That
change
makes
things?
even less sense.
Well, does that change things? He's not walking into the shop.
Well, we don't need to talk about that on the air. I mean, that was
we
more
talk
of an
about
off-air thing. We won't start getting that involved.
All right.
No, but I mean, if you take the day off, take the day off.
Yeah.
Beto could use the reps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you have? Well, that's why we're playing Bad to the Bone. By the way, it is Troy Aikman's 56th birthday, Ken Griffey Jr.'s 53rd birthday, and my father's 72nd birthday.
Oh, happy
today.
birthday, Mucho.
Hey, happy
Yeah.
birthday, Mucho.
Oh, I had a Ken Griffey Jr. poster when I was a kid. I loved that thing, man.
He was so good.
It was so much fun to watch. I've never rooted for a guy that he was the first guy I really rooted for. Because I guess Michael Jordan is probably in that category too. Where like they didn't play for a team I cared for, but it's just like every time they were on, I would watch if I could.
He made you want to watch Seattle. So
right,
it was incredible to watch him. Did you watch him when he was with his dad in Cincinnati and they
Yeah.
both hit back-to-back home
Yeah,
runs?
yeah, that was cool.
That was very
Although
cool.
the Cincinnati years were not fun.
They were not. No, they
And
weren't.
we-
But that was cool.
We feel pretty confident that he never got into the stuff, right?
He's the only one I really feel like didn't.
Well, his body never really changed.
Right, it didn't.
If anything, he put on like regular dad bod weight.
Right.
Like most guys.
And his numbers kind of stayed just consistent throughout.
When he was healthy.
Yeah,
right.
when he was healthy. They didn't like shoot up one year and then back down another year.
Yeah. No, he had the most beautiful swing of anyone I've ever seen in Major League Baseball history.
I think the two is him and Jeter to not be doing anything in those years.
I mean, I don't know. I listen.
Would you think? Oh,
I'm just saying. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't ever want to do a sweeping generality of that era at all. Like, but
No,
I'm
it's-
saying. But based on the way he looked,
right?
You know, and all the injuries, and again, he had like even a little belly at one point. Ken Griffey Jr. So.
Yeah, I never looked at him and said like, yeah, he's on the juice.
You know, it just that era. I don't care about that stuff though. Like, honestly, everybody was on it.
So you used to say that to me all the time back in the day, and I was like, no, if you do that, you're terrible and you don't deserve to be in. I don't care anymore.
Yeah,
I just want to be entertained.
Listen, I
If you
don't
hit
care
home
about
runs, I'm
performance enhancers. If Chris needs performance enhancers to be in this studio, do whatever he's got to do.
Speaking of which,
Fine.
on this day in 1942, Tweety Bird, a.k.a. Tweety Pie, debuted in Tale of Two
I thought I
Kitties.
told Putty Tat.
In the original cartoon was the Tale of Two Kitties, but what was the second kitty?
I thought it was just Sylvester.
Yeah. But are you saying in
who's the-
1942 there was two kitties?
Was Tom also like moonlighting on Looney Tunes?
He's cheating on Jerry.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
Because Sylvester was the cat,
Yeah.
Yes.
right?
Is there another
Right.
cat?
There must have been.
Well,
it was,
there was
Suffering
ano-
succotash.
it was a Tale of Two Kitties.
There was another.
Two cats, Babbitt and Costello, are looking for food to alleviate their hunger.
Wait,
Babbitt
Babbitt and Costello?
That's a pretty clever thing.
That is pretty cool. I used to love Abbott and Costello. I
Really?
watched Abbott and Costello like versus meets Frankenstein.
Wait,
oh,
but
it was great.
I see a
Great.
Tale of Two Kitties as Garfield here.
I
Because that was actually a movie.
Yeah, that was the
that
movie.
came
It was
out.
I love
like
Garfield.
You liked Garfield?
I did
All
as
the
a kid.
lasagna?
He was kind of lazy. He loved lasagna.
But back then
he was a smart ass.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I was really little then. Like,
Right.
I didn't put on weight until like 11. And then all of a sudden, all those memories of watching him eat lasagna hit my head.
Yeah, Garfield was he was like the first real smart ass.
He was.
Yeah.
He
Back
just
in those
didn't
days.
care.
Yeah.
He'd go after the establishment. He
Yeah.
didn't care.
Yeah.
Anybody watch the Saturday morning cartoon with Garfield and Friends?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh, so good.
I only saw the one movie where he had Jennifer Love Hewitt in it, right? And Freddie Prinze, I think.
Was Freddie Prinze in that movie?
Maybe.
Was
Freddie Prinze was a
Really?
Scooby Doo.
Oh,
Yeah,
maybe it was
he-
Scooby-Doo.
yeah, it was Scooby-Doo.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, just.
But
we're
there
trying
was
to
a
figure it
real
out.
Garfield movie at some
Yeah, he
point.
was Fred.
He's like, no.
Everybody
Right.
all excited. I mean,
There was a Garfield that he went to like Maui or somewhere in Hawaii, and they had to save somebody from being thrown into the. What
was the dog's name, Pluto?
Volcano. Not Pluto.
Otto.
Otto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Nermal was the cat. Yeah.
There was another cat?
Yeah, there was a little cat. It was Nermal.
There was a Nermal?
Always shifted off to Abu Dhabi.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he always shipped him off to Abu
You
Dhabi.
really know your Garfield.
I
guy knows
love
it.
Garfield.
That's
You
in-depth
kidding me?
Garfield knowledge.
No idea.
I had massive Garfield knowledge.
Yeah.
That was my childhood.
Doesn't look like Freddie Prinze was in Garfield.
No.
No.
You know who
Scooby
was?
Doo 1 and 2. Yeah.
Bill. Who was in Garfield?
I don't know.
The voice of Garfield.
He was the voice?
No, someone was.
Oh.
There's,
Yeah. someone
Casey
was-
Kasem? No, that
I
was
can't think of his name.
Who was Casey Kasem? Oh, it was Shaggy.
Shaggy.
Yeah. Zoinks!
Casey Kasem.
Yeah, Casey Kasem, man. Walked in on me when I was peeing one day. But may he rest in peace. But anywho, Greg Bergman, let's
Yes,
ask about your
yes.
expertise here before we get to we'll do the Lakers later.
I like the Lakers, too.
The Dodgers, though. I mean, but we definitely believe you have an expertise with the Dodgers.
Okay.
I mean, less so with the Lakers, I would say.
Whoa.
I mean, you did. I know you did one time have the
the Lakers Raw.
the Lakers hoedown or whatever they
You
called it.
called
back
it
in
that.
the-
It was
called
Showtime
Lakers Raw?
Forum. It was Lakers Raw first.
It was
and
Raw.
then-
Oh, baby, I like it raw.
I always
And
thought it
then
was Showtime
This-
Forum.
and then it was Showtime
It was
Forum.
Showtime Forum.
I don't
But
remember the
no,
Lakers
no,
Raw
I remember
years.
Lakers Raw because it was that. It was me literally just going, "Oh, baby, I like it raw." And
Yeah,
you
that
know,
wasn't the best
Greg was
name.
giving it to you raw.
I was.
He was giving you Lakers takes raw, raw as raw could be.
I'm out of that business.
Okay, so
Showtime Forum was doing very well.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't.
yeah, it was doing well.
Yeah, it was.
You could have been like a magnet at one point. You were ahead of your time. I feel like
I was.
Yeah.
I was trying to make the Showtime Forum into the Ringer, but for Lakers.
Is Showtime Forum, would that have been more successful than Stable Wars, you think? Though?
Oh, yes. 100%. We were already
Because there's more
building
Laker
some-
fans than there are horse
Yeah.
fans, is what you're saying?
Well, yes, and also, come on.
Whoa. Whoa.
I didn't say anything. I said, come on.
Listen, I'm not giving Cappy any strays.
A lot of people,
while
I
I'm on
remember
here
those
today.
Showtime Forum days when Greg would be in here at night by himself.
Yeah.
Filming himself, and people were making fun of him.
He had a backdrop.
But he was ahead of his time. Now we
was.
basically copied his system.
Yeah. Everybody did.
Everything that I was doing is now here, being implemented here.
You're not a system player. You're the system, is what
That's
you're
right.
saying.
I'm the system.
Okay, fair enough.
But
So
then Carlo made it bigger.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
he made making it raw
By the
bigger.
way, happy birthday, Carlos Saisu,
Yes,
as well.
happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Carlos Saisu.
Okay, Dodgers. What you got?
So Lindsay told us a story yesterday. I mean, the Shohei Ohtani stuff, I mean, everybody gets that. Although I did like the whole story about how he basically, if you tell that you're meeting with him, you're out. I love that. I love that aspect of the story. But then the other part of the story was they would trade assets for Mike Trout, which on the surface sounds good. But then I thought about it more, and I'm like, do you really want to do that?
Yeah, no, there's not really much that's happening. Mike Trout is a diminishing asset at this point. Like, he's just always injured. I think he's had 1 year of over 100 games played in the last, 5 or 6 years. He's not that player anymore. It sounds great. Hey, put him in center field, and he'll play you 140 games and hit you 35 home runs and 120 RBIs. He's not that guy. He's not. He's going to play 80 games. He'll get, when he's healthy and playing, he'll hit you some home runs, but it's not the guy you want to move forward. And he has a massive, massive contract that I can't look at right now because my computer died.
Yeah, I was wondering why you slammed it down like that.
Yeah, because it died and I couldn't see it and I got upset. I got annoyed.
Mike Trout did only play 82 games last year.
Yeah, he's been constantly injured over
He
the
had
last 2 years.
119 the year before that,
Yeah.
36 the year before that. Then the COVID year, he played 53. They only played 60-something games.
Right,
So
and
he played
still
most
didn't
of
make
those.
the playoffs.
Right. His last MVP season, though, 134 games.
Yeah, so what year was that?
2019.
2019. So now that's going to be 5 years ago. He's what, 32? Somewhere right that
32.
32, and he probably still has another 5 years.
He's played 13 years already.
Yeah, so he's on the downturn. So you're gonna have to, if you trade for him and you trade all of these assets, you're trading for him and his contract, his breaking down body, the amount of money he's owed that you might have in front of you at some point.
6 more seasons.
6 more
How
seasons
much?
at probably around
35.
40, yeah, 35 years. Actually, in today's baseball.
Oh, now you're
30
talking yourself into
Wait,
it.
wait,
no,
You're jumping off already?
No, I'm not. But 35.
I was going to say, you already did pulled a U-turn.
35 a year for a player is not as much as it was when he signed that contract. Guys are making $40 million a year. It's going up. The amount of money that you have to pay is rising. Like Shohei is going to be making $50 million a year.
Yeah, but that's Shohei.
Yes, it's Shohei, who's also no longer he's a batter at this point.
You were going to say one-trick pony.
Yeah, I was, but then I wanted to change it. I didn't like that saying. But he's going to eventually be able to pitch again, but that's probably not till 2025, 26.
Okay. So Mike Trout, enough of that. Mike Trout, I mean,
Trout,
Ohtani's everyone wants Ohtani.
Yes, of course. I don't want Mike Trout. I just think.
But you almost talked yourself into it a second ago.
I almost did, but not 3. It's 6 years of $35 million is too much money. Unless the Angels somehow decide that hey, we'll take on a little bit of that money.
Why would they do that?
Exactly. They're not going to do that. So why would you trade for him?
Especially for the Dodgers.
Yeah. No. First of all, Artie Moreno's not going to trade him to the Dodgers, period, end of story.
You think that'll never happen?
Never
Even if they gave them all the best prospects, which they have a lot of them.
Yes. If they said you can have our 1 through 5 prospects, he still won't do it because he's Artie Moreno and he doesn't want to help the Dodgers at all.
But do you believe the Dodgers would kick the tires on that?
I think they kick the tires on it, but I don't think they'd give their top 5 prospects.
No, I mean that was not in the report
that was
either.
me. Yeah,
that was
Walsh is going to help him out.
Give him.
Walsh will help him out now as the Angels manager. He's going to show him how to play third base.
Wash is just a dude that's there for 2 years and then retires.
Listen,
that was
I
a
love
Moneyball reference.
Ron Washington. God.
I do too.
Oh my God,
he's the best.
Oh, he's baseball to me.
Oh yeah,
yeah. On a number of fronts, to be honest with you.
Yeah, especially in the 80s.
Yeah,
yeah.
On a number of fronts.
Well, yeah. I mean, listen, everybody had fun in the 80s.
Yeah. All right.
So no on Mike Trout.
No. Okay.
You do? Do you want him? Would you want him? As
No,
Dodgers?
I would not want Mike Trout based on that. Just
contract, health.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to live up. I don't think you would have to get at least 120 to 130 games a year. You're not going to get that.
Nope. And for 6 more years?
Yeah.
Until he's 38?
No.
Nah.
Yeah, I am a bigger believer of the biggest the biggest predictor of future injury is past injury.
You don't get frazzled like this with Cappy. Is it because there's 2 of us?
I'm getting double teamed. Tag teamed even.
I mean, you'd go in front.
You know.
No. You're more of that style.
Whoa! All right, coming up next. Something about the Lakers, because I don't know what Greg just said to Chris. We're back in a minute.
A live imaging Tuesday on Sedano and Cappy. On this day in 1981, the #1 hit, Olivia Newton-John, Physical. Oh, I thought that was one of the posts. It's okay. I'm going to talk up the next one. You know what I'm saying? Also, happy birthday, 78 today, the great Goldie Hawn, the legend. And today is National Stuffing Day. You know what to do with that stovetop on Thursday. Just go BAM up the wazoo.
I want to get physical.
Damn it, I need a longer cable when I dance.
Clearly you do, based on what you said earlier.
I was showing you the 4-way stretch of Sunday Swagger. Speaking of Sunday Swagger, hit the music, Laura. You know what we do on Tuesdays around this time. Time for our Sunday Swagger weekly unveiling. Made possible by our friends, the official golf polo of 710 ESPN. But you don't need it for just golf. You can wear it on Thanksgiving like I will, a Yamava. You can wear it to play pickleball. Maybe you play flag football. Why not wear it? Right, Corporate Greg?
Why not? You can wear it anywhere, just walking around L.A.
And right now, as we kicked off last Friday at the Sunday Swagger headquarters, their Black Friday sale is on. Download the app. Just search Sunday Swagger in your app store. Or go to sundayswagger.com. Sedano, deep discounts.
How deep?
So deep. You can rework your entire wardrobe or get all your holiday shopping done. Now, let's go around the room and our models, as Cappy would say. By the way, we'll see Cappy's unveiling tomorrow because he'll be back tomorrow. First, let's start with producer Lindsay Baseball in the Rainforest polo today.
Look at that.
A nice dark colored polo with some beautifully bright colored leaves. I think these are like palm leaves, huh?
Looks like it. In the Rainforest.
The
Meanwhile,
tropical rainforest.
Corporate Greg, what do you got, Jack?
So I'm wearing the gnarly, and it's what color would you call this? Because I see just regular colors. I see pink, red, but what color would you?
It's like a
call
reddish
this?
pink.
Are you
Reddish
saying you're
pink.
like colorblind?
I'm not colorblind, but I can't tell
I would
the
call it a
difference.
fuchsia.
A fuchsia? Okay, yeah, so it's a fuchsia. It's got some like paint splatter all over it. I really like it. It's very comfortable. Looks nice.
And I am wearing the Retreat today. The Retreat. Now, here's the thing. Black Friday sales are going on now through Cyber Monday. Polos as low as $29. Tons of new releases dropping. And the Miami polo. That dropped today. The Miami polo. You got to go check it out. SundaySwagger.com. Okay? That's our
I got
unveiling.
that one for George, the Miami polo.
Did you?
What was I thinking?
You
Oh,
should have.
Well, they didn't drop
Makes
it yet.
so
Well,
much
I have the Dolphins shirt under as I was trolling the Raider fans to start the show, so there was that.
Absolutely right. Thank you to Sunday Swagger, the official golf polo of 710 ESPN.
By the way, we mentioned Freddie Prinze earlier, and Greg, Dead Meow 5 says you need to unban Freddie Prinze from the station.
So Freddie Prinze and I talk every Sunday about the Raiders. We watch the Raider game together.
but he
in
has
different
not been
houses.
on the station very much, I don't recall.
We had him on. I don't know, Chris. Would you say it was like what 6 months ago?
By the way, I'm looking at this new Miami polo that just dropped. This thing is. I need this one. Woo! That's a good polo. You can get that right now at sundayswagger.com.
You know what I'm looking at is Grant in L.A. having your head on a turkey.
Well, listen,
The Sedano and Kap Circle of Trust.
If you put a cigar in my mouth and sunglasses on, I look good in just about anything, including a turkey. I kind of look like Kramer,
Yeah, that's what I was say.
like the Seinfeld episode.
Hey, buddy.
Freddie Prinze Jr. is welcome here anytime.
He is always welcome. I love Freddie.
He was great.
He used to be part of Sedano and Friends.
In fact, I don't think it was us that had an issue.
No.
No.
So, Freddie, anytime you're welcome, you are welcome.
You are always welcome, Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yeah.
You're more
He's
welcome
usually
here
listening.
than Michael Thompson or Pepe, frankly. Although Michael and I are cool now, so I love you, Michael.
Are you?
Yeah, he gave me
I
like
feel
1,000 Callaway golf balls.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
got
that's
enough
all
golf
it
balls
takes?
for like years now.
That's all it takes? Just pop you with some golf balls?
It's funny. I was actually moving some stuff around in the garage, and I saw like 5 boxes of brand new golf balls, and I'm like, I haven't touched those in months because Michael hooked me up.
Right.
So yeah, listen, you wet the beak? You wet my beak?
Speaking of turkeys?
Yeah, you're good. Okay? You're good.
Fair enough. Now we know.
Just a little something to wet the beak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A little taste. Just a little taste.
What is going on in this match, Sedano? This Brazil-Argentina
So
thing?
I
What is happening
don't
here?
know what. So Argentina and Brazil were playing.
Is Messi playing?
I would imagine a World Cup qualifier or maybe a friendly. Yeah, Messi was supposed to be there, as far as I know. And but someone who knows soccer will tweet us and will give us a better idea. But yeah, apparently a fight broke out between. I mean, they're huge rivals.
Fisticuffs?
Oh, yeah.
Argentina and Brazil.
Oh, that's a
in the
huge
stands.
rivalry.
Like
Fisticuffs during a friendly?
in the stands. Like people were like ripping out chairs and throwing it at each other.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're going at it.
If you go to the Circle of Trust, you can see it.
You can see it where Sedano says, this was Corporate Greg and me in the first hour.
Correct.
It's true. Yeah, you got to go back and listen to the podcast. I mean, we were just going to have a friendly type show, a holiday type show, 2
Talking
days
about
away from
turkeys?
I wanted to find out deep turkey knowledge. And then all of a sudden, like Rocky IV.
I mean, if we're being honest, turkey's not that great.
So, my house.
The dark meat is good. The light meat, not so much.
So we do a turkey because it's sort of.
Why are you staring at me like that?
Well, you know, Greg, you're open-minded.
I am open-minded.
I'm proud of you.
Didn't know where to go from that.
I mean, that was good. I was caught off guard. But my house, we'll do the turkey, a little 10-pounder, just and my uncle fries it in the peanut oil
a little
outside.
fried turkey.
So it's
is
nice.
different.
Then we've got a
turkey's pretty dry.
I'm not done.
Oh,
Then we
sorry.
got a beautiful prime rib. In fact, I'm picking it up tomorrow at the meat company in Los Alamitos and seeing my friend Craig Cartozzi, of course, the owner
the
of
meat company.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Beautiful, juicy prime rib. And then we're also going to have some wings, too. We make our own wings. Very good, very good. And then, of course, all the usual stuff. Mashed potatoes, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Green bean casserole.
Because I feel like
stuffing.
Thanksgiving, actually, the rest of the stuff is better.
And it's
Oh,
going to be
absolutely. The sides are way better than the actual
It's going to be
turkey.
a late dinner because my family's waiting until I get back from Yamava.
Oh.
So it's
nice
going to be like
of
an 8:30 dinner. And guess what? But you know what I do before I go to Yamava?
What?
I'm going to uncork that wine you gave me for my birthday and let it decant
Parlez-vous français?
all afternoon.
Yeah, you need a long decant.
It's
going to
be a long decant.
It's an old world wine.
I don't know what that means, but it's going to be a long decant.
Old world, as in Europe.
Oh,
yeah,
old world.
Yeah.
You think it's going to be good for Thanksgiving dinner? You think it's going to pair nicely?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, if you got, especially with the prime rib.
Oh, it's going to be nice.
Yeah. I would say.
You don't do like a ham on Thanksgiving?
I don't love ham like that.
No, ham's good. A nice honey-baked ham.
Yeah.
Well, you got to go honey-baked ham.
That's better than turkey, I think.
Ham is better than turkey.
Yeah, I don't love ham that much. Like,
It's fine. I like ham.
It's all right.
Oh, I don't mind it.
Yeah. It's all right. But a fried turkey, that changes the equation a little bit.
You got to use the peanut oil.
Yes. But you also have to be careful. You don't want to, burn up your lawn.
Well, no, it's a
Blow up
tabletop
the
and it's
whole
in the backyard.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I've seen people like that has not gone well.
You got to be smart. You just can't stick cold turkey in the deep fryer.
No, right.
Then it goes, pow!
You got to be thawed out.
Yeah, you got to thaw out that bird.
Yeah.
Not like Travis Rogers with the frozen bird.
Yeah, what was he thinking?
A man of food like that should not have a frozen bird.
I'm
on
actually
Tuesday.
stunned that
He's
he had
screwed.
this wrong.
Yeah, I told him. Well,
he's going ham.
He squeezes
Yeah.
the quarter till the eagle screams. I told him just don't worry about this and go buy a fresh bird.
Right.
You do. You have to do that because
Yeah.
it's going to take forever, especially 19. It's a lot.
Just soak it in the tub.
Somebody said he should just get on top of it like a hen. And warm it up.
Oh my God.
Could you imagine?
So bad.
That'd actually be funny.
It's only bad if you don't like it.
It'd be look like, he does have a foghorn leghorn thing to him. He's so tall. You know what I mean? Like,
Tomorrow's his birthday, too. by the way.
happy birthday, Travis.
That means
Travis is honestly, I would say he's the most likable person at this place. I am definitely not.
Not
that.
if you work with him as long as I have.
Really?
He becomes very unlikable.
Oh. Because I feel like he's charming. He's nice. He's easy to work with, easy to talk to, easy to chat with in the hallway.
He's the easiest. He's the easiest person to talk to in this place, and he's always here. He doesn't take time off. He's very easy to get along with, and just does his job.
So apparently I was right. It was a World Cup qualifier, and Messi was set to play.
Chris, is it a problem just with you, though, with Travis? Because if it's only with you.
So here's the thing.
Oh.
I'm an intense person.
You?
Yeah.
Really?
And back in the morning show days, Sedano and I
3
would...
Virgos in that room. Oof, I just thought about that.
Exactly.
I don't know what that
Sedano
means.
and I would fight, but he would fight back. And I like that. I want you to fight back.
Yeah.
Travis will just kind of look at you and go, okay, no. When I come in and go, hey, man, that segment sucked. What are you thinking? And I throw something.
And be like, well, what the would you do better?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Instead, he's just like, fine, Chris, if you're going to be that way.
Well, you know what?
come
Then
on.
you can go yourself.
Right. Put your fist up.
Yeah.
Punch me back.
Yeah. You know what? You mother.
Exactly.
Go yourself.
So that's the thing with Travis.
Yeah. That was
And
pretty
he's
good.
always-
I edited myself
You
fairly
did.
well
I
there.
was like, I was ready.
And some
Yeah.
mornings I walk in a mood just to be in a mood.
Yeah.
And I kind of I want to shoot somebody out of the gate,
Yeah.
just to kind of go. I mean,
The drama, huh?
Well, it's kind of
literally.
like what I did to Greg. Like it was just kind of the old days.
Yeah, I just want to fire one off, and then
Yeah.
he's just, hey, Chris, good morning, how are you?
Yeah.
You know what, Trav? I'm not great. And he'll just be like, okay.
So
nice.
Omar Gonzalez just tweeted me and said, Chico, no ham, lechon. Lechon is different. Lechon is cooked different than honey-baked ham. Lechon is delicious.
What's the difference? Because I don't know.
I mean, it's just cooked differently. First of all, you do it in a roaster, okay?
Roaster?
You cook the pork in a roaster.
Okay.
And it cooks for 8 hours. And it's also marinated differently. It's marinated with garlic and onions and mojo and all sorts of stuff in there. It doesn't taste sweet. It tastes savory. And then the pork skin is hard. So it's what do they call it? Chicharrone. What is it in English?
Yeah, chicharrón,
Chicharrón.
pork skins. I don't know.
pork rind.
Pork rind.
Right.
Oh,
So like,
okay.
it's that. Like that's delicious. But honey baked ham is like.
It's good.
Can you slice it like a honey baked ham, where you just slice off the top and it just falls over?
Here, let me show you. I'll find
It's
a
like
picture.
carnitas.
Oh, okay.
Like
Better, but more. But
I love
I don't know.
carnitas, so I'm
I
fine
don't
with
know.
that.
It's well, lechon is like Cuban.
no, that's not
spices.
just Cuban. It's Filipinos.
No,
do-
I know,
do
but
lechon too.
it's marinated and it's done in a different like
Yeah.
seasoning and stuff. But
I
that's
think
kind
it's
of-
better because you can. The reason I'm saying it's better is because you can also have the skin attached.
You
to
can.
It. Whereas with carnitas,
You
it's
can't.
just the
No,
pulled
no, you
pork.
can't
Just
do that.
pulled pork.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
it's
so
kind
good,
of like that.
Okay, all right.
Like a
I can
different
handle
version.
that.
Yeah.
Sounds delicious.
Oh, Grant in L.A. just put a picture
No,
of
no,
Travis
what?
and Sliwa in the Sedano and Kap Circle of Trust, and he says,
Uh-oh.
I didn't do this on purpose. I just said because Travis Foghorn Leghorn because he's big. He's a big man, and now they've made Sliwa Tweety Bird.
Wait, you've never had lechon, Greg?
I mean, I don't know. not
mm,
by knowledge.
Let me see.
I'm sure I've
Tomorrow's-
tried
I mean,
it.
You're
Greg
here
does-
tomorrow, right?
You know, I actually have an actual roaster in my house.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
But it takes like 8 hours to make it.
No, yeah, it takes a long time.
No, it took you about 25 minutes in hour one.
Damn.
I'd say like 15 to
Dun,
get
dun,
up to
dun.
the full heat.
I was gonna bring some tomorrow, but I don't know if I can get it.
Yeah. All right.
See.
How much time do we have left in this show?
Half
today?
hour.
Oh, okay. I don't even know.
710 combo plate, which you don't like.
What's that?
You ripped it again on the air yesterday.
Why?
I didn't rip it.
I love it. I think it's a great thing for the
I
station.
didn't rip it.
You
Why
ripped
did I
on
rip
air.
it?
You
How
and
did I
Mace.
rip it?
And then that's when you said, "Oh, Mace gets." He
Well,
said
I just don't know what time we're starting. I don't know what time we're ending.
he said he
It's
gets
just
all
like-
these text messages, and like, who's texting you?
Trying to send an email.
I
you
didn't
have it
text
in
him.
an email
You
now.
I'll show you my text to Maze. I've never texted him about that. You know me. I'm not afraid to say anything on the air.
No, I know.
So
That's the one thing. I appreciate that. You don't lie.
Yeah, I'll tell you how I feel.
Well,
So-
kisses don't lie, as somebody once said.
Yeah.
All right, well, we got about a half hour left, and then Toyota Lakers countdown to tip off at 5:30.
With Sliwa, the rule breaker.
Ooh, it's
Then
gonna be bad.
Lakers Jazz 7 o'clock. You'll hear it on 7:10
Look
a.m.
at this Mark Cates. This guy. I mean, that's a handsome dude over there.
He
Oh, he
is.
is, yeah.
He's very
That's
handsome.
a handsome fellow over there.
And I knew him 20 years ago. He's getting better with age, like that old.
He's like a
world
fine wine.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like a French Bordeaux.
I mean, listen, wouldn't mind. Anyway,
All right. Speaking of alcohol, I love me some Tequila Mandala, and we'll have that this weekend, obviously. Award-winning artisanal small batch premium sippy tequila founded by a couple of guys just like you. One from Jalisco, Mexico, the other one born and raised in SoCal. Down and Downey with a vision to create a sipping tequila meant for sharing with friends and loved ones. You heard us talk about it. You've seen us post about it. You've seen those beautiful hand-painted round ceramic bottles, whether it's the Blanco, the Añejo, the Reposado, or my favorite. But, in moderation, of course, because it's so good. You don't want to have it all the time. The extra añejo. But have you tried Tequila Mandala yet? Well, what the hell are you waiting for, man? Elevate your tequila game today. Make sure Tequila Mandala is with you at your next occasion. The holiday party, right? The anniversary party, the birthday party, the carne asada, maybe the lechon, like we were just talking about. Celebrate with Tequila Mandala today. Follow their journey on their social channels at Tequila Mandala. Available everywhere fine tequilas are sold. Visit their website, tequilamandala.com, to find a store or a restaurant nearest you. Tequila Mandala. Demand the extraordinary.